Pastor GMS London. We'll start by saying all praise to Jehovah Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, double honors unto the apostles of GMS. Okay, honors out there to the brethren on the highways and byways, teaching the truth and sincerity. Okay, this lesson is going to be on basically, you know, all black people are not the same, man. Okay, you know, contrary to popular belief, man, your skin tone does not denote your nationality. Okay, you know, it's 2015, man, and people are still getting caught up on skin color, man. Okay, and they can't separate themselves from the doctrine that they've inherited from the so-called white man as to who they are, okay, and who everybody else is. Okay, the Lord did not distinguish people by their color of their skin, but by the nations that, you know, the Lord has separated them into, man. Okay, you know, we had somebody come up to the camp, not last camp, but camp before, I believe. I was meant to do this video last week, and he kept coming back to the all black thing, man, all black people and that. Okay, as if to say that the Israelites are the same as the Africans, as you know, the same as any other dark-skinned people on the planet Earth, man, which is simply not true, man. Okay, the Lord doesn't deal with skin color like that, man. Okay, we all have an archetype. Okay, we all descended from dark-skinned men. Okay, that is true, man. But the Lord has separated all of us, okay, into our separate nations, man. Okay, who the Lord, you know, deals with differently according to what nation you're in, man. Okay. But, you know, like I said, people are still getting caught up on this black thing, okay, as if to say all black people are the same, okay, which is not true. Okay, I'm just gonna get into it, and I'll explain on the way. Okay, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. Okay, this is talking about the Israelites. Okay, so then thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. Okay, so it was prophesied that we'd go into captivity, okay, and, you know, we'll receive all these names, you know, by and from our oppressors, man. Okay, which eventually, you know, caused us to lose our identity, because we started recognizing ourselves by these same proverbs and bywords. Okay, and you know, and evidently today, man, you know, they came and took us from the west coast of Africa, which was not our home. Granted, we was there, you know, for 500 years. We was living there for 500 years, but that is not our home. Okay, we fled persecution into the west coast of Africa. Okay, that does not make us Africans. Okay, but that's where they grabbed us from. Alright, and, you know, basically, you know, they called us Africans, man. Okay, black people, to them, are so-called Africans. Okay, they know that we're not. Okay, but this is what they taught us. Okay, that's what they taught the Negroes in the Americas and consequently the rest of the world. Okay, that, you know, we're Africans. Okay, which is not true. Okay, because to be African is to denote that is to say that we come from the tribe of Ham. Okay, well, biblically speaking. Okay, that Ham is our forefather, which he isn't. Okay, we have different forefathers. Okay, so we're not of that nation, man. Okay, like I said, we're gonna go through it, but I just wanted to get this up. Okay, according to the bywords and proverbs that, you know, we got under, right? So-called white man calls us black, African. There's a whole list of names he gives us, man. You know, he gives himself names. Okay, he calls himself white. Okay, when we know that his actual color is not white. Okay, he placed that upon himself to represent his divinity. Okay, his purity. Okay, that's why he labeled himself white. Okay, because as you can quite clearly see, when you look upon a so-called white man, you know, he is not paper white. Okay, every nation on this planet Earth has a level of pigmentation in their skin. Okay, what makes the so-called white man an exception is that he lacks this pigmentation called melanin. Okay, but everybody else shares this melanin to different degrees, man. Okay, giving us varying tones of the color brown. Okay, like I said, the term black is neither here nor there either, because you look at black people, they're not actually black either, man. They're not charcoal black. But there are some dark motherfuckers out there. Okay, but they're not the actual color black. Okay, so you know, these terms, man, they're just placed upon us, man, to put us as opposites to the so-called white man. If the so-called white man is pure and divine, then the so-called blacks are evil and dirty, so to speak. Okay, these are the reasons behind the so-called white man's use of color as races. Okay, because you cannot denote a race by its color, man. That's just stupidity. Because, like I said, we all have varying tones of brown in our bodies. Okay, even among the same nations. Okay, so you know that knowledge is completely void, man. Okay, is absolute bullshit. Okay, so you know, brought this up. Okay, this is a color terminology for race. Okay, it says in some societies and among some anthropologists, color terminology was used to label races, sometimes in addition to a non-color term for the same race. Identifying races in terms of their human skin color has been common since at least the Physiognomica falsely attributed to Aristotle. Okay, so other scientists were more cautious about such categorizations, and Charles Darwin argued that the number of categories, or in this case the number of different colors, is completely arbitrary and subjective. For example, some claimed 3 distinct colors, some 4, and others have claimed even more. Okay, so that's talking about your so-called whites, your so-called blacks, okay, your browns and your so-called yellow people, man. Okay, because that's how they categorized us. Okay, but you know, it's bullshit. Okay. Right, I'm gonna drop down. Okay, it says Western classifications. It says one of the early uses of the concept of black as a metaphor for race was first used at the end of the 17th century when a French doctor named Francois Bernier, an early proponent of scientific racism, divided up humanity based on facial appearance and body type. He proposed 4 categories: Europeans, Far Easterners, Lapps and blacks. The first major scientific model was created in the 18th century when Carolus Linnaeus recognized 4 main races. Okay, so he thinks. Okay, but there are many more than there are more than that. Okay, Europeanus, which he labeled the white race, okay, which is bullshit because he's neither the original Europeans either, okay, but he, like I said, let me bring this out, I haven't said it yet, okay, but this is the next scripture in line, okay, this is Micah chapter 2 and verse 2. It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away, so they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Okay, the so-called white man is a great stealer of history, man. Okay, he likes to portray himself as, you know, the great conqueror of all lands, man. Okay, he'll make you believe he is the original European, and that the original Europeans are so-called white people. But you know, we ruled Europe. The Japhites ruled Europe prior to even us. Okay, and they were coloured men. Okay, so really they're the original Europeans, man. The so-called white man has no real claim to that, man. He was a peasant in Europe. Okay, until he gained a footing, and gained control. But hey, he's not the original European, man. Okay, but he, like I said, they steal history. They oppress a man and his heritage, man. Okay, they take it away and take it upon themselves. That's all they've done to hide their true selves, to hide the fact that they are Edomites, man. Okay. So Europeans, which he labelled the white race, Asiaticus, which he labelled the yellow race, Americanus, which he labelled the red race, and Africanus, which he labelled the black race. Okay, so by adding the brown race, which he called Malay for Polynesians, Melanesians of Pacific Islands, and Aborigines of Australia, Linnaeus' protege, anthropology founder Johann Friedman Blumenbach came up with 5 color typologies for humans. White people, the Caucasian or white race. Okay, that's you so-called white people call yourself Caucasians. Okay, if you don't know why, it's because you came out of the Caucasus Mountains. Okay, after Rome fell. Okay, because you was nowhere to be. You weren't on the scene after Rome fell, man. You got driven to the caves, man. Okay, you are a cave beast. Okay, so you was living up in the Caucasus Mountains, man. So that's why you call yourself Caucasians, man, because that's where you descended out of that bottomless pit you lived in. Okay, into preeminence again. Okay, so it's more or less black people, the Ethiopian or black race. Okay, which is bullshit. Okay, so yellow people, the Mongolian or yellow race, cinnamon brown or flame colored people, the American or red race, and brown people, the Malay or brown race. Okay, so this is how they labeled us, man. Okay, they didn't label us by our nationality or our family lines. They didn't do that. Okay, they separated us by fucking color, man. By fucking color. Because so-called white man's an asshole, man. You fucking idiot. Okay? Alright. Something else here. Okay. Let me read this last one when we get back into the scriptures, okay? It says, understanding of melanin. Racial classification according to skin color became more complex when anthropologists added other, less obvious characteristics in their attempt to achieve a scientific classification of races. It was later found that skin color depended essentially from the amount of melanin and could vary widely in the same community. Thus, it could not provide a satisfying way to classify ethnic groups, much less races. Following World War II and the discredit of such racial classifications, more and more biologists and anthropologists began to question the concept itself of race. Okay, because race has nothing to do with fucking colour, man. Okay, race is synonymous with nation. Okay, what nation a person comes from, man. And you can't tell that by the colour of their skin, man. That's just ridiculous, man. Okay? It says, thus the race question statement by the UNESCO in the 1950s proposed to substitute the term ethnic groups to the concept of race, arguing that human communities were defined as much by cultural traits, language, religion, etc., as by biological characteristics, skin colour being only one of them, along with blood types which do not recover previous racial classifications. So, you cannot judge a race based upon what they look like, what nose they have, or what eye colour they have, or what skin colour they have, what colour hair they got. Man, that don't prove shit. Okay, but you people, you've not caught up with anything, man. You're still using these same old lame ass terms to identify one another, man. Okay, if you're a well-read person, man, you would know that not everybody is the same. Just because you look similar to certain people, they don't make you the same. Okay, there are family lines, bloodlines that have to be adhered to, man. Okay, and you belong to that tribe of people, that nation of people. Okay, not everybody